beasts feel only hunger. Hello and welcome back to Boring Dead Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Roadwarden. So let's go straight into our save. So, where are we? Let's just remind ourselves. It's been a couple of days since I played it, actually. I think we spent the night at the Enchantress's house. And so, thinking about what my goals are for today. I think I wanted to go to the old bridge and then try and find the Green Mountain tribe. So we've got to cross that and then head east, I believe. So maybe we'll go there now. Let's go straight there. With no trees or crags blocking the sun, the road is bright and inviting. The simple bridge is centuries old, bitten by time. It makes you think of the dolmen you saw south of here. The torrent here is deep and fast, with plenty of fish. The boat is destroyed beyond repair, rotten, falling to pieces with holes in the floor and on the sides. Overgrown with fungi and moss. The thick shrubs are covered with thorns. Small birds are jumping from one twig to another, pecking at the brown berries. You think about picking some of the fruits, but you're not sure if they're edible. Let's see, I could wash myself in the river. Have a closer look at the fish, perhaps. You see dozens of red and grey shells. As you walk by, they stay close, following your steps. Do we risk a wash? They could be carnivorous fish. We are extremely filthy. No, we lost health. How did I know? You undress, keeping your axe at hand, and check the water with your hand. It's as warm as it is clean. You step in, hearing your mount's afraid snort. You tell it to quench its thirst, but then a harsh bite reaches your calf. You look down. Another wave of pain runs through your legs. Your blood flows downstream. In a panic, you climb back, grabbing a clump of grass. A fish is still holding your thigh. You pull it and squeeze with anger. Its mouth is filled with inch-long, thin teeth. You need a bandage. Right, well, I'm going to be petty and throw it into the bushes. Roach peacefully chews the grass, enjoying the sun on its back, ready to take a nap. Alright, well, we're going to go east to the tribe of the Green Mountain, hopefully. You don't see any easy way to move east. If there's any path you could take, it's completely overgrown. The thorny bushes won't allow you to move without harm, and even if you could, you wouldn't leave Roach behind. Well, it's still morning. Let's take a couple of hours just to chop stuff down. Oh, we're even filthier now. I think we were filthy to begin with. We're even filthier now, if that was possible. The sun isn't harsh. As long as no beasts are going to bother you, you can expect a fair bit of carefree labour. Oh, it's cleared the bushes here in the picture. That's quite cool. The thick growths allow you to move or clean the thorny branches. You push the plants away, then cut right above the ground. The stems are healthy and flexible, but with enough time and determination, you manage to cut through and throw them aside one by one. After a few hours, you feel hungry, but at least you reach the game trail. Okay, so it's 10 hours to before dusk still. I pack my things, sharpen the axe blade, and prepare for the rest of the journey. I think we click travel, don't we? Okay, yep. Let's do that. Alright, head east. It wouldn't be wise to ride through a lush meadow. There are animal pits and molehills, and the ground is covered with old roots, rocks, and mounds. Putting more weight on Roach could turn any stumble into a broken leg. You lead it by the reins and keep looking around. Such lands are a common hunting ground for dragonlings or cats that sneak in the grass. Finally, you reach a narrow game trail. The rest of the journey should be easier. Let's follow it. The trail turns into a wider path and leads you to a rocky hill. Roach quenches its thirst, so you fill up your water skin. The trees by the road still bear signs of past trimming, giving shadow to old herbal patches now overgrown. There's a bunch of edible leaves in sight, though all the vegetables were already dug out by rabbits, and most of the apples have fallen on the ground. You glance at the cave's entrance and let out a sigh at the sight of bones. You could hardly squeeze inside. Fortunately, the path forward is clear. Do I dare try cleaning myself again in the stream? Do I have a fish trap at the moment? I think I bought one, didn't I? Have I actually set it yet? What's this? Spider silk. Equipped. Is it under equipment? I got anything? A fish trap. Yeah. Okay. Let's set the fish trap. You place the basket on the ground and grab a bowl and start digging, looking for a few larger worms. You bait the stick and push it inside the basket, locking it between the sides, then cover the entrance with the lid. Tying it together takes you a good few moments, but it will be easier later on. You lock the entire trap between the rocks, moving it around to make sure it stays in place. Who knows how long it will take before something large enough swims inside. Still, it would be better not to wait too long, otherwise the prey may die of hunger. Well, I've learned that for myself. I think we're doing alright for food. Got 6 food rations, so I don't think we need to spend time gathering the remaining plants. That cave is intriguing, although the bones are a clear warning. We could approach it and have a little look. You prepare a torch, the rope, your gloves. You can't get too far away without putting Roach in danger, so you don't take any food. Better to check if I can get my inside with my gambers on. Oh, God. You should be able to squeeze in. A ghastly screech cuts the air. You step back, dropping a part of your equipment. A creature is running at you. I grab my axe. Oh, God. The monster looks like a furless, grey, wrinkled human with stunningly long limbs. You see its bones, as if the skin hardly contains the guts. In the blink of an eye, it squeezes through the entrance, bending in ways that seem impossible to you. You've disturbed the lair of a corpse eater. Oh, no. Alright, what do we do? We could jump away and just try and chop it as hard as we can without taking too much trouble to land a particular place. Alright, let's do that. Okay, lost some gambers on. The creature jumps at you right away with arms and legs spread out in a lethal hug, and you're too slow to react. Its arms cling to your own, pushing them along your sides. The legs clutch your hips. You barely stand straight as it instantly tears through the gambazon on your back with its claws. The terrible stench doesn't help you one bit. Well, to be honest, I've got a terrible stench of my own, I think, at the moment. I'll run at the rocks to crush its shell. Let's do that. You let out a scream and charge at the wall, making the monster's back hit it first. It lets out a terrifying shriek. Its grasp weakens and you set yourself free. Should we do a dice roll and hurt it as quickly as I can? You surprise the creature and hit it in the middle of its jump. You send it to the ground with a deep wound and it lands with a thud, crying in pain. It crawls away, flailing its arms in dread. I finish it off. You catch up with it as it turns on its back. You sink the blade in its torso once, twice, more, until it stops moving. Its raised arms stay still for a moment, then rest on grass. The dark nails, longer than the rest of its hands, lie still. Your breath slows down. The carcass smells of unwashed sweat and rotting flesh. Take a closer look at it. The grey, wrinkled skin resembles that of an old human, but it's hairless and clings tautly to the bones, especially the ribs. The torso is short, rectangular. The large eyes and long limbs resemble no other monster you've seen, not even an ape. You consider cutting the shell further, but you don't know where to start. You've never seen someone owning a ghoul's trophy, or putting into a stew would poison an entire tavern. The red-stained grass stinks like rotten eggs. You could collect some of the warm fluid. It's rare and may be valuable to an unusual soul. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. You had me at valuable. You put on the gloves, pick up a broad blade of glass, and carefully gather the poison. Don't really want to do the stream again. Let's burn it. You spend some time gathering dry sticks and grass and throwing them at the carcass from as far as it takes to avoid the stench of blood. You prepare the worst torch you have, set the oil on fire and add it to the small pile, then head to the stream to wash your blade. You're now a part of the endless battle between rites, churches, and corpse eaters. Let's go into the cave. It might have got something valuable. The ceiling is short, but you can stand upright. The corridors lead to deeper parts of the flooded chamber, but unlike the corpse eater, you can't squeeze through them. You spot no human skulls or limbs among the bones, even though there are scraps of old, mouldering pants and tunics, as well as some odds and ends that belong to the victims. A comb, an old wooden club, a hood, a leather belt. Thankfully, the corpse eater has cleaned up every scrap of flesh, so there's no stench of rotting meat. Alright, let's look for anything of value. You return to Roach and unpack a candle into your tinderbox, then sit on the ground and prepare the flint and the linen charcloth. Decades ago, before the southern invasion, people used fire strikers made of thick steel, but all you have left is a cube-like piece of harsh pyrite. It's not the best, but enough to make a couple of sparks. You put on your gloves and look underneath the remains, then into the corners. Your patience is rewarded once you spot a glitter in one of the pools. You pull it closer with a stick and find a knife with a broken blade made of steel. It carries no signs of rust yet. You consider throwing it away, but the handle is made of polished bone that was engraved with the shapes of creepers and flowers. You think about your conversation with the Eudocia. This could have belonged to Admon, and is likely still worth a coin or two. Alright, take it outside. Roach is looking around, flicking back and forth with its ears. Okay, well, let's travel on. I'm not going to risk cleaning myself in the stream. Let's continue east. The grand, brown and grey mountains are blocking the horizon, and you doubt the path is going to reach the snow-covered peaks. Without trees and clouds blocking your view, you're like an ant approaching a fortress. I wonder what kind of beasts hide among the rocks. The unbodied keeper of the garden is standing still, with a dark cloak on their shoulders and an eyeless face observing the woodlands. Their club, more than 3 times as tall as you are, is made of a single piece of rock, and could squash you by simply collapsing, without anyone's will. A set of stairs into a convenient corridor-like ravine. A set of stairs leads into a convenient corridor-like ravine. The gentle wind carries no shouts or scent of blood. I approach the statue. The statue's face has no features, and the shell ends with the neck, revealing a dark space instead of a torso. You lean closer and notice the coarseness of black and grey gritstone, and how bitten by time it is. Both the figure and the socle, not sure what that is, are stained with white guano. Still, it's extraordinary work. The weight of the giant doesn't rest on its club, but rather on the boots, which are cleverly attached to the cloak. Sooner or later something will break, most likely the arms. Without them, the statue won't hold its stance. Now I can cast a spell here. I'll use my amulets to look for magic in the area. Yeah, okay. You unpack the wooden spheres, pleasantly smooth and light. Okay, well, we've read this about fitting in the palm of my hand quite a few times. You begin the ritual, after which all you can do is wait. You let Roach graze for a bit, making sure there are no monsters in your vicinity. When you return to collect your amulets, they differ from each other. The closer they were to the statue, the warmer they got, even if cloaked by shadows. Those placed on the statue's sides and behind it are all cold, while the one placed on the ground directly in front of it is as warm as your own skin. You shake the spheres until they cool off, then hide them in your satchel. I return to the statue. I try to awaken it. What do you try to do? Alright, we'll try talk. You introduce yourself and try to have a chat with the statue. It remains the same. How about we kick it? It hurts you more than it does the statue. At least it didn't knock any health off. Kneel? You rest your knees on the ground to show your respect and humility. Monks wouldn't be happy about this. Bow? It doesn't bow back. Push? It doesn't move. Swing axe. Alright, maybe just type axe. Alright, I think we'll leave it for now. I don't really know what to do. I don't know why we're doing it either, so let's just... what is it? Actually, it got in the journal, didn't it? What does it say? Did it make it a quest? Sleeping giant, okay. My amulets have found magic in the area. Step away for now. Let's travel onwards. So we're still well within the range of Eudocia's place where we can rest. So let's keep pushing east. Seeing how steep this part of the road gets, you dismount. It will be safer for you to get a bit tired now than to push Roach onto the verge of fatigue. You take a sip of water and start climbing. The road is winding and narrow, but it would fit a single wagon if it wasn't for the sporadic rocks and boulders blocking the path. Some of the larger ones are resting just in the middle, and as you look above, you struggle to recognize where they came from. They were placed here on purpose. The strong wind, the wooden bridge connecting the rock ledges, the unusual terrain, you can't pay attention to any of that now. A creature larger than a bear steps away from its nest, then screeches at you through its sharp, black-tipped, golden eagle-like beak. It spreads its wings as wide as a barn gate. You stay in your saddle. Look at the spear. A simple weapon, but not a cheap one. The light shaft makes you think of ash wood, and is neither soggy nor bent. The head is made of iron or steel, and has a bar at the end that's meant to stop the blade from getting too deep into the flesh. The ferrule placed at the bottom of the weapon could serve as a club in a desperate situation. There's no way of telling if it was left here after an unsuccessful hunt, or carried here together with a monster's victim. You don't have time to mull it over. The beast leaps towards the rock face. After it flaps its wings, the gust of wind brushes your hair. Oh, okay. We can travel. Let's head north. Gotta keep an eye on the time, though. How much time do we have? 5 hours. The winds, cold sweat and altitude make you want to simultaneously take off your cloak and put on some heavier clothes. At least Roach doesn't seem to care. You take deeper breaths. The path ahead seems gentler. There are no more trees, and you're surrounded by grasses, pebbles, sporadic bushes. You look down at the herds gathering around the stream, the rustling leaves and the birds, large and small, flying above the forests of the peninsula. From here, everything seems calm. I think it's just an illusion. The trees hide blood, blades and claws. There's nothing peaceful about them. Ooh. A loud screech reaches you from up the path, where at the top of a crag you see a massive saurian standing on 4 limbs. It's displaying proudly its dark green skin with a bit of a brighter stomach, and orange stripes on its legs and eyebrows, as well as the tail, which is swinging left and right. The size of the monster makes you stop, but before you turn around you realise there's a short woman sitting on its back, dressed in a red gambazon and an iron helmet, with green pants that blend in with her mount. You can't see details of her hair, but she's not attacking you just yet, resting the blunt edge of her spear on the ground. Her other hand holds the reins attached to a bridle put on the monster's head, cramping its wide mouth. She raises her weapon in greeting and speaks in a language that you've only heard used among the elders raised in distant villages. The old speech is almost forgotten outside of the most remote pagan tribes. All I've left is the city tongue. I can't understand you. She stays still for a few breaths, then uses sounds that she's clearly not used to saying out loud. You lost? During the following minutes, you both try to get used to each other's speech, though sometimes you can't find any common ground, depending on the combination of the city tongue and gestures. You explain that you're heading to the village at the end of this path, and she asks if you have a message for the chief or the shaman. Say it to me. I need to speak with them myself. I'm the local Roadwarden. Even though she doesn't give any clear command to her mount, it takes a few steps forward without needing to speed up quickly. Moving without needing to speed up quickly. After a confident leap, the beast lands on the crag right above you, allowing the warrior to look at you closely. Roadwarden? She says in the city tongue. Like Asterion to city folk? You nod. She points at your neck. And like city folk, you carry dread? You glance at your winged hourglass, trying not to think about the green beast observing you from just a few feet away. What do Roadwardens do? Alright, we'll go with friendly and cordial. I protect travellers and help settlements stay in touch with each other. You hear a monstrous roar coming from the mountains. The woman looks around with a raised spear, and when her eyes return to you again, her voice is strict. You'll find nothing for you here, as we seek no travels, not in touch. She pulls the rein and makes the saurian turn around, then leaps away up the path, staying on top of the crag. Something's happening there, she shouts from a distance. Road not safe. Come, we'll speak in the village. I tell Roach to keep up with her beast. You ride through the corridor of rock faces led by the jumping saurian. The woman in a helmet blows a large horn, longer and thinner than a ram's, with enough power to cause an avalanche. And once you reach the massive wooden gate blocking the path, it's already open. The few people you've seen so far are well equipped, wearing heavy jackets, shields and steel weapons, though some of them seem a bit old. Your surroundings get more spacious, with small garden patches and stone sheds spread on both sides of the path. Riding by the onlookers, you enter a trot and then a walk. The locals pay as much attention to you as to your mount, commenting on your appearance in the old speech. Unlike the guards, the workers are carrying rather simple tools, many of them made of bones or rock. Their woolen, undyed outfits are appropriate for hard labour, worn and patched up, but also heavy, protecting their owners from the cold mountain winds. The one thing that differentiates them from one another is their headgear. Every person you see is wearing something on their head, mostly ear-covering kerchiefs, vividly dyed with embroidered patterns of leaves, flowers and gems. They are sea folk, no doubt about it. They have long limbs, hardly any beards, and the few children you see have uncovered hair, wavy and dense. Yet their paleness is unusual, as if they spend little time outside. Your guide is nowhere in sight, but so far no one has tried to stop you. I don't want to trample anyone. I dismount and look for the saurian rider. She awaits you at the cave mouth, where the teeth and tongue are so distinct you doubt they were shaped so without the villagers' interference. The crisp air carries the scent of late summer meadows. Aside from the discussions of farmers and guards, you hear the roaming wind and the gloating ibexes, but the terraces and crops around you are quiet, making you realise it's the first village you've seen in a while where there's no constant noise of humming water or of heavy labour. God, I haven't quite got a grasp on their accent yet. A safe place, but don't be here for long, you hear from your guide in her lacking city tongue. They're still much better than your old speech. She's not the only guard in sight. The spears, slings and clubs are getting a bit too numerous for your tastes. We need you not? She looks around, but only a few people nod in agreement. Most of them are giving you puzzled looks. What's your gift for chief and shaman? You realise she's more than 40, and even if she has a small stature, no one seems eager to replace her as negotiator, or to question her authority. The accent of those who chat in the distance is so dense you can't catch a single word. I need to bring your tribe a gift so I can see your leaders? She lets out a dishonest laugh. Why would anyone want to see you? She tries to say something you can't understand, and after a few attempts she picks up a small rock. Your problems? She keeps in front of her chest and points to the mountains above you. Our lives. I show her my possessions. Do any of these interest you? You put out some items, but she spares them nothing more than a shrug. What would you want then? With a playful voice, she tries to tell you something complex, even asking her companions to help them translate it, but finally gives up. Ding rare to us. A good blade, good drink, spices. Is there something I could do for you instead? No. She scoffs, but seeing your expression continues with a serious look of her own. Mountains will kill you. You need years to learn them. Tings or woodlands are of no worth to us. Don't dare to say we need help of city folk. I bring news of great importance, matters of life and death. Hesitant, she answers slowly. Important to a Roadwarden of city folk, but not to souls of... She says a few words in the old speech, and after your frown, tries to translate them, though with a displeased frown. Of the tribe of the Green Mountain. I'm trying to find a Asterion. She gives you a grim look. Our shaman too, but I can't talk about it. Going South African, aren't I? I show her my possession. Oh, no, I've done that one. I'm trying to find a few hunters from the village of Creeks. Are they around? She repeats your question and translates it to the armoured villagers to her left and right. After they shake their heads, she meets your eyes again with a confident nod. Not in years. Okay, she's not interested in my stuff. I'll need to hide, sleep. She looks away and speaks with her neighbours, making you wait in silence. She then gestures for you to follow her to the shed, just a few steps behind you, and draws aside the curtain covering the entrance. The room is filled with sacks, old barrels, and bone-made tools. You'll have a sleeping spot here. Leave to beast there. She points at the main path. We guard the village. It will be safe. Soon after, a few of the farmers bring a pile of furs, placing them in the corner. Move them there when you go to sleep. Your guide points at the centre of the room. The only choice I've got is to show her my possessions again, but she doesn't want anything. Did we just leave? I guess. I've got 5 hours. Could get back to Eudocia's. A blade. I mean, the only thing I can think of is the spear that was at that nest, but... Go to Foggy Lake. Get a free meal. Well, one we've already paid for, I mean. We could maybe get our gear repaired at Gale Rocks. Then I kind of want to head into the woods. But I want to repair my gear and stuff first, so... Go back to the small cave. We can see if my fish trap caught anything. It probably didn't, because it's only been a few hours. But let's go do that anyway. No. Travel on. Okay, well we'll get up to Foggy's then. Because Eudocia can't repair stuff, can she? So we'll try and prepare ourselves for a trip into the forest. Wait tomorrow though. How much money do I have at the moment? 27, quite a lot actually. What's she got to sell? Meals. I've already got one left. Is it just the troll urine she wants? Yeah. Alright, well I guess I'll sleep. I'm going to use my Pneuma to heal up some. And I'll rent. I imagine it's going to be getting a bit low, but I have got one of those smooth stones I could use. It did actually improve a bit. We've got full health now. Very hungry, so let's eat. Let's leave. We can approach the foragers. I just wonder if they had something I could wash in. They haven't. So I'm going to travel on to Gale Rocks. Yeah, so let's have a bath first of all. So we are not clean. We actually have free stuff here to get us clean, so we'll definitely make use of that. I think the tailor, is she free for us now as well? Yeah, let's get a couple of free repairs, or one free repair then. Who wanted the spider silk? I think that might have been... Alright, yeah, let's patch our clothes. I'm actually going to... No, I won't worry about that then. I'm actually going to head to... I forgot the name of it. Howler's Dell. No, I'm not done. So I want that spider silk. I think it can strengthen my stuff. Yeah, we're not stopping. Let's go to the tailor. I've gathered quite a bit of spider silk. Would you like to buy it? You show her the wrapped stick, and without asking, she takes one of the shorter threads and starts to stretch it. She nods. I do. What do you want? The dragon rings or a better jacket? I ask her for the details, and she loses more of her patience with every breath. 10 rings for the thread, or give me 2 hours now, and I'll put some of it here. She points vaguely at bits of your gambazon. To make it stronger and easier to wear. Yeah, strengthen my armour, please. There, we've got full armour now. You spend the time brushing and watering roach, practicing combat moves and stances with your axe, and washing your hands, face and neck. Near the end of the hour, you return to the tailor and sit down on a stump, relaxing to the sounds of Howler's Creek. She asks you to come closer and points at the spots where the seams were ripped and replaced with spider silk, which is much lighter than the old thread. It will only get stronger than this unless you cover it with troll hide or something. Alright, what else have you got going on here? Nothing really. Fancy clothes. I don't know why I'd want that, honestly. I'm fine. Alright. Look at our journal. Let's just remind ourselves of our quests here. So, we're looking for a Asterion. We know that much. I think he's in the Green Mountains, or at least somewhere near there. Currently got 2 Eastern Path. Ela wants to know about the roads that connect Foggy Lake with the western and southern crossroads. Do as much as I can to make them more secure. Okay, well, Ela's at the creeks, isn't he? We might get some money if we go back to him. Fallen Tree. Five food rations for Quintus. I need to go back to White Marshes and find out more about the bandits, don't I? Oh, I didn't get the option of looking for that, did I? When we go back there, might be worth having a look for that. Good blade, good drinks, spices. Have I seen any of that stuff? I don't know if I have. We're in Hallersdale. Let's talk to Timo then. Okay, so we've got Admon's knife, so I think we could assume he got eaten by the corpse eater. So we would need to go back to Ephron and Creeks. Might find the others in the woods. Haven't seen a sight of them yet. Report back to Tice. I suppose we could do that now. She doesn't like us very much. Okay, we've got some stuff to tell Tice then. Maybe get some more money. Look for the mayor. Hearing news about the parts of the peninsula. I've been to the tribe of the Green Mountain. You explain how you reached it and what you saw. She rubs her hands cheerfully. Judging by your tale, they aren't bothered by their humble lives, and even less so by what we try to build here. Splendid. I don't need more chaos in our land. She leans forward with a smile, resting her chin on her wrist. Only the oldest of our forest speakers has ever been in that place. It's remarkable that you've managed to find it. That's all I have to say. Go ahead. News about Glaucia's band? The only place bothered by raids is White Marshes. The people from Gale Rocks and Creeks have faced no issues. She exhales and raises her open palms. So there's no reason to worry. The people of White Marshes are no friends to ours, and if Glaucia is eager to bother with the poorest settlement in the north, especially one filled with the Woken, it must be personal for her. We have no reason to stand in the middle of it. She straightens up and adjusts her cape, then stares into your eyes. Her voice is solemn. As the mayor of Howlersdale, I appreciate your concern, but I don't share your apprehension. The guards of our village will stay on our walls. Be sure to come see us soon. We'll gladly share lamb and tail with you. Very well, I'll pass it to him. To whom? Who are we giving that message to? Maybe it'll be in our journal. Can you read me this tablet? Dirty. She raises her open palms. You open the tablet yourself and push it towards her. She leans forward with a sigh. Well, half of it's just nonsense. Some letters, numbers, and a picture of a boat, I think, and one of a volcano. Scrawling about the size of an oar. She stops suddenly. Oh, here's the name. Navica. She sees your look and shakes her head gently. I don't know her. Why are you so interested in this tablet anyway? Who's the owner? It may have belonged to Asterion. At first you think she nods to confirm she heard you, then you realise she's gesturing to make you take the tablet away. I see. So it's not really my problem. She turns away and looks at Eric's. Can you wipe this? She points to the table and soon after he shows up with a wet cloth. I could use some work. She looks around and adjusts her capes and lowers her voice. Have you ever spoken with Orentius, the necromancer of White Marshes? I haven't, you respond, and she bursts into laughter so unprompted and loud it makes you quake. Have you been to my favourite spot right behind the corner? Sometimes all I want is to take a nap there with a cat on my lap and a mint tisane at hand. Come, I'll show you. Once you reach the bullpen, the noise of work and conversations is suppressed by the humming water. The mayor glances at the window above you, then strokes her lips with her thumb. There's the rest here. She leaves you enough space to sit down with her. The scent of her rose perfume is strong, but this time her eyes are absently aimed at Bion's home. What I'm going to tell you needs to stay between us, she says hesitantly. I figured. She crosses her legs, clasping her pale hands around her knee. We need to get rid of the undead. The undead or the necromancer? We both know the former won't get away without the latter. Her voice relaxes a bit. She starts to dangle her sandaled foot. White Marshes is a threat to us all. We ought to burn the wound while it's still fresh. What's your plan? Start with reaching the village. It's not far away from here, just ride north and on the second turn east and into the bogs. Take a closer look. See how many shells they've awoken, how many dangerous they are. Just don't mention me at all. Being a Roadwarden affiliated only with Hovleven works to your advantage. On the opposite bank of the creek, a seagull is preening its feathers, unaware that a young boy is trying to sneak up on it with comically raised hands. Maybe the locals will allow you to meet with the priest. Ask him what his plans are. Just don't act hastily and keep me informed. I can already tell. Well, let's mention the reward first. Don't make me laugh so boring. Voice is grim. I'm not asking you for a favour. I'm offering you my help. You think we're the ones who would suffer from the hands of the undead? It's the smaller settlements, the roads, the inns, the travellers who'd take the lethal blow. We can handle a direct threat, but I'd rather see our lives grow in comfort, not conflict. She observes her fingers, rubbing them together as if she's getting used to a different skin. If the guild were to see dozens of corpses roaming through the north, they would decide it's not worth their effort. Do I really have to explain why you shouldn't stay idle? If you and I act together, I'll invest coins, time, fighters and supplies. With every word, the annoyance in her voice grows. What else could you want? A blade from cold steel? A riding ibex? A soft shell to warm up your nights? A staff of immortality? She takes a deep breath but falls silent. I can already tell you about this and that about the village. Oh, you waste no time, I see. Tyus' voice is warm, but you both look towards the seagull, still unaware of the danger. The boy's just about to jump. Let him have some fun. The kid grasps the creature and makes a triumphant cry, holding the bird as it squawks in panic and flaps its wings. In a few heartbeats, the creature's neck is hanging at an unnatural angle. Oh dear. He raises the seagull above his head, waiting for the mayor's approving nod, then takes his prey away, whistling. Your companion lets out a chuckle and leans away, resting against the inn's wall with crossed arms. So, did you manage to get in touch with the priest? Won't happen. I can try again to gain the locals' trust, but I doubt Orentius will listen to reason. After you give her the overview of the situations, he asks you for a minute to collect her thoughts. Resting in the cool wind, she keeps staring in the distance. Once she speaks, you catch no hint of hesitation in her voice. In such a case, avoid meeting with Orentius. It's better for his people to not know how determined you are to stop him. Instead, carry on with your general patrol route and speak with the leaders of other settlements, at least those who are willing to listen. Tell them we need to unite our forces to enter White Marshes and force the necromancer to release the Awoken. I'll handle most of the obstacles, but I need at least one tribe to join me. You're the one who'll lead the fighters. We'd rather avoid bloodshed anyway, and you know the bogs better than any of our hunters. She adjusts her purple dress as if she's just finished a meal. Once you find someone, come here and speak to me, ideally in the morning. We'll begin our preparations. Would it be better to abstain from violence? Any attack will end up grim, no matter how carefully executed. If you want to avoid unnecessary violence, She stands up slowly, her tone having run out of patience. Find me 2, maybe even 3 groups of fighters. The more of us there are, the dumber it will be for the defenders to oppose us. So you want me to organise a raid? I can't agree to this. So you'd rather put everyone in danger than gain my trust and save them? Despite her fragile shell, she now towers over you. Her scornful gaze makes you look away. Very well, our collaboration ends here. Come, but don't waste my time. After a few steps, you return to your usual table. Thank you for your time. Has a Kakios got anything good? I'm looking for flowers that look like orange tulips, but with much larger leaves. Do you grow anything like that? Alaska Boyens, her wife had some of those. After a few minutes, he hands you a clay pot with a plant not larger than your hand. It has a single flower and a couple of healthy leaves. Back in spring, Asterion asked us to grow them, but he's no longer around. That little stinker. Ever their presence annoys me now. 3 dragons and I'll give you what's above the ground. Maybe it'll grow again. You ask him what he knows about it. He picks it up to look at it closely as if he's his first time seeing it. Well, the forest speaker from the southern cave told me 'tis a herb for potions. Snake bait, he said. I think it lures serpents. And is sure. But 'tis pleasant in taste, I think. Alright, 3 dragons. I can't remember what I needed that for. How's your poor daughter? Did the potion work? Ah, she's fine. Brought back her first lizard, and near thanks to me. He exhales. But she didn't accept my help. A burnt bridge. But I had a chance to talk with her. He scratches his head. At least now I can heal myself when we get swarmed by the undead, or brigands, or goblins, or the Unites. Whatever it is that we're afraid of now. I bring goods to sell. What have I got that I could give him? The broken knife? I think we want to give that to Ephron, probably. A golem rod? No. The trollbone tablet? What's he want for that? 3 rings? Ah, forget it. What's he got for sale? Buy a better axe. A light sharp axe. Yeah, that might be good in the woods. We can afford it. Alright. Not for now. We could leave. We're getting near dusk, but oh, have I not spoken with Paulus and Gale Rocks yet? I guess not. Sleep, I suppose. Rent a room. Do I want to rent a room? We don't need the health. I'll get the pneuma anyway. Now let's just sleep on the blanket for free. The shivers wake you up. You open the window and see the dense fog covering Howler's Creek, spreading like milk throughout the entire village. You hear an amused quarrel coming from the main square and spot the dancing lights of torches and lanterns, yet the village remains calm and asleep. Yeah, we want pneuma. Allow the fog to touch my shell and fill it with pneuma. Thank you. Let's leave the square. Must remember to speak to Paulus next time I go to Gale Rocks. I thought we did, but anyway. Okay, so we've got 18 days left. It's quite a long time. Quite a long time still. I want to go through the woods. I'm fairly well prepared for that now. I mean, I can eat... recharge my food. How long will it take to get there? 5 hours. There's also this way. Well, a watchtower. Yeah, okay. I look for the purse. I didn't see that before. Okay, well, let's do that now. You kneel on the grass and look into the darkness. Among cobwebs and bugs, you spot an old piece of fabric pinned under a rock. You pull it out and find a rotting, torn pouch that contains a single dragon bone. You make sure you haven't missed the other ones in the dirt, but if they ever existed, they've rolled down and sunk for good. Oh. One bone. Roach peacefully chews the grass, enjoying the sun on his back, ready to take a nap. Okay, well, we're going to travel... Where did I... Okay, that's an hour away. Starting to run out of day here. A large red saurian is basking on top of the crag. It observes you, but doesn't move any closer. See if the fish trap had any luck. You lift the trap and see 2 flopping fish inside. You prepare your axe, then open the lid and reach for your catch. You stun the animals one by one with 2 careful blows in the top of their heads, then finish them off with a knife, cutting underneath the gill plates. You spend another minute or 2 bleeding out the fish in the creek and then cover them with a waxed linen sheet. You shoot them soon before they spoil. Alright, we can set the trap again. We actually do need to eat. Let's eat one of our rations. Let's eat 2 of them. We've got quite a few still. We could go back to the... Well, we need to go back to the abandoned watchtower anyway, because we're going to head off from there. I think we could probably spend the night as well, if necessary. Maybe? Let's use the campfire. Let's cook 2 fish. Takes you a good few minutes before the fire gets started, then grows strong enough for you to cook. In the meantime, you prepare the captured creatures. You cut through their stomachs, remove the guts with your fingers, then pierce through the animals with pointed sticks. Keeping them at a safe distance, you roast them slowly until they look and smell prepared. Alright. 4 hours. Can we actually sleep here? We approach the tower. Alright. It might be better to sleep at Eudocia's and then go off in the morning. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We might be able to go straight in. It's quite late. You touch the cold shell. The monster's eyes glow red. "So boarding, come inside. I wouldn't mind a bit of company." The golems let you in and go straight to the house. Eudocia is leaning against the fur that hangs from the wall and stares at a sharp dagger that she spins in place. Let's trade. Is it just the spirit rock she's got? It is. Let's talk about clearing the roads. I'll think about it. Go outside. Why can't I sleep? Is it just too early? She tells us about a few places. Why can't I sleep here? Travel? Yeah, it's got a bed sign on it. I'm just presuming it's too early. How much time do I have? 3.5 hours. I wonder if we can clear that fallen tree. No, I don't want to wash in the river. There's no point. Right, let's just travel back. We're going to go to Eudocia's and hopefully I can rest there now. Right, just going straight in. Alright, we'll sleep. Sleepy sleep. Yep. Alright, that's fine. Let's eat one of our rations. How much? Oh, only by 1. Alright, well let's eat them both because they'll go off, won't they? So that's fine. We're full now. Reasonably clean, full pneuma, full armor, full health. I mean, we're not going to get any more prepared than this. Go into the forest, so... But... I think this episode's getting on a little bit for length, so I think it's probably best if we actually leave it there now. When we come back next time, we'll do just that. We'll head off into the west of the tower, we'll head into the forest and look for the bandit camp that we suspect is there somewhere, and see where that takes us. See if we can survive the wilds. Alright, well thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this installment of Roadwarden. If you did, then please do hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel as well, that'd be fantastic. And in the meantime, I'll see you again for more. Bye for now.